Hello and welcome to Sewing with Miss Rice. Today I will begin the video series on how to make a pillowcase. I have personally chosen this really cute little fabric pattern with dog prints on it for my son, and I will be using this. The first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you measure it. You will need to make sure that the fabric is about 40 inches wide, and you can use any cutting board to go and measure this out. For the length, you'll need to make sure that it is 27 inches long. You'll then need a second piece for the cuff, which will measure about 9 inches in width and 40 inches in length. Again, you can use the cutting board to go and determine this. You'll need one more piece, which is going to be a mere 40 inches long, much like the other pieces, and 2 inches wide. This is to act as a trim and to just give the pillowcase a nice little accent. Now, before we use this piece, I'm going to have to go and bring out my favorite tool, the iron, to go and press it in half. So let's take care of that. Alright, so I am going to press this in half, and there's a little trick here I wanted to show you during this video. Because when you're folding over a long piece, it can be a little difficult. So what I like to do is very carefully use push pins to hold the fabric down a little bit, just enough to make sure it doesn't flip over. Then once you carefully start ironing it, not ironing over the pins, you can take out the pins as you go. Once you've ironed a good part of it, it stays down a lot easier and it makes it pretty easy to keep it going. So just use some nice steam, assuming you're using cotton of course, to iron it out and make sure it's nice flat with a good crease. This will maybe take me about another minute or two, so I think we'll just go ahead and skip to the next part. Okay, so we have this all nice and ironed. We are now going to line it up with the edge of the 9-inch piece fabric. We will go and put it at the side where we have cut, also known as the raw edge, and I'm going to pin it in place just to kind of hold it there while I line up everything else. So while we line up raw edge to raw edge and pin it together, we will then go and prepare our other piece of fabric. Give me just a moment here. There we go. So you're now going to take the other piece. Now the first two we put together nice side to nice side. We're now going to put it again nice side to the nice side of the major piece, making it to where we can now no longer see the nice side of the big puppy piece. We're going to carefully pin this, and I know normally I make a big point of saying don't do it horizontally when you're pinning. In this case though, we have one more step we have to do. So we're going to pin horizontally and use that to help us keep track of when we're pinning on our very last step. So go ahead and pin it all the way across. Okay, as you can see, I've gone ahead and jumped ahead, and I've already pinned all the way across and such. Now this is where the burrito method really earns its name. We are going to roll this up like we're making a giant burrito. I know it seems silly and it seems really weird, but just go with me on this. So you're going to roll it up pretty much to the top. And you may have to take your time. It is 40 inches in length, so it may be a little awkward for you. But you can now see that we can see the 9-inch cuff piece. So once we're about halfway on there, we wrap that around the main part, which is going to make up the pillowcase. And we begin piecing and pinning all the layers of fabric together. So you should have the 2 parts of the trim, the 2 parts of the cuff, and the top of the pillowcase. So this makes about 5 layers of fabric you'll be pinning and sewing through. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and until next time, happy sewing!